APIZACO is located just 20 minutes from the capital of Tlaxcala. Its name comes from Nahuatl and it means place of thin waters or creek. Thousands of years ago, the first settlers were some groups of nomadic hunters who roamed this territory. Some vestiges of the settlements have been found in the surroundings. La Maquinita, a 212 locomotive whose donation was made by the Mexican National Railways, is probably the most iconic element of this city after the Basilica. By 1857, it was already the main railway center of the time. The station from which the trains that connected to the capital of the country would depart with the first trips to visit Puebla was the first to be built. For this reason, this city became more and more relevant. During the historical phase of the Mexican Revolution, it played a very important role. That was its golden age. In the Casa de Piedra de Pisaco Museum, built in 1916, you will get to know, in its 12 exhibition rooms, the interesting railway past, how it came to be what it was at the time, and its historical importance. APIZACO is known as a model city due to the exact symmetry of the central streets that delimit the old part of APIZACO. Just look at the map and see the impressive symmetry and precision with which it was drawn. The Basilica of Our Lady of Mercy is a must-see here in APIZACO. This structure is an excellent example of the neo-Gothic style with European influence that was adopted in Mexico. I do want to mention that it is the only religious building in Tlaxcala that has this type of neo-Gothic architecture. It dates back to 1873. But due to a lack of resources, the construction of the towers was temporarily postponed. Its imposing towers reach a height of 164 feet. It was until 1950 that the well-known actor Mario Fortino Alfonso Moreno Reyes, better known as Cantinflas, contributed to the completion of its construction, culminating in 1960. And the interior. Every detail, every line is absolutely impressive. It is a pleasant experience to walk through its park, the Cuauhtémoc Park. With its rich vegetation, it is the perfect complement to this monumental structure. A perfect place to come with the whole family, and there is something for everyone to do. The well-maintained park has many green areas, games, activities, the kiosk, and of course, enough benches and places where you can sit and enjoy the atmosphere. It's also a good idea to visit the different haciendas that remain as witnesses of the journey of the Spaniards, following the passage through Puebla and then reaching Tlaxcala. The monumental Plaza de Toros de APIZACO is undoubtedly one of the must-see destinations being here. One of the great traditions of the inhabitants of this place, due to the number of cattle ranchers in the region, is the Fiesta Brava. This is one of the most impressive bull rings in the state. Its gastronomy is as wide as its history. The delicious tlatloyos or tlayoyis, also known as tlacoyos, tlacoyito, tlatloyos, tlayoyos, or tlacoyos, from the Nahuatl tlaoyo. Either way you order them, you will have a delicacy at your fingertips. There is also the barbacoa de hoyo or the nopal soup, among many other options. Its textile tradition is a treasure in itself, famous for its impressive handicraft work. So to get to this art, I recommend, if you have the opportunity, visit one of its yarn, fabric, and print factories. The rich tradition of artisan weaving in this region is partly thanks to the vast cattle ranches. The wool designs made the community famous. With that, we say goodbye to APIZACO.
Welcome to Tlaxco.
Its village beauty, cobbled streets, and colonial architecture have given Tlaxco high recognition and inclusion in the Pueblos Mágicos program since 2015. The word Tlaxco comes from the Nahuatl word Tlaxco, which means the place of the ball game. Located about 45 minutes from Tlaxcala and approximately 2.5 hours from Mexico City, it is a perfect destination for a weekend for those looking for something authentic and with many options: history, culture, and nature. The heart of Tlaxco is its quiet main square with its traditional kiosk, accompanied by the beautiful parroquia de San Agustin from the 17th century, in whose construction Vincenzo Barroso de la Escayola participated, who also designed the Cathedral of Morelia. The San Agustin parish is in the shape of a Latin cross. Its facade is made of pink quarry with some plasterwork motifs. The construction has a single tower of 2 bodies, oriented to the west. In its interior, there are altarpieces of Baroque-style stipe made during the 18th century, carved in wood and laminated in gold. The rest of the decoration of the church was carried out in the middle of the 20th century. The statue in front of the Church of San Agustin is of the Bishop of Oaxaca, Bartolomé Carrasco, who was born in Tlaxco. The Municipal Palace is located next to the main square and was inaugurated by President Porfirio Díaz. In it, we can find a collection of paintings, photographs, and mirrors. In the Carlos González Museum, known as the Museum of History, Arts, and Traditions, it is another place where you can learn about Tlaxco. its history, and its natural environment. In this surprising magic town, you can make a stop in one of the cheese and silver workshops and in the artisan wood workshop, where they have an original animated model made of wood, and the renowned Tlaxco Mobile, a vehicle made almost entirely of wood, something that you cannot miss. The Chapel of Lourdes in Tlaxco was built at the end of the 19th century. This chapel is 55 feet high and has a neoclassical design. It has an access portal to the atrium made of a semicircular arch crowned by a triangular pediment. The garden that is appreciated at the entrance of the atrium provides a fabulous view of the environment that is already more than impressive. On the main facade is the entrance to the chapel. After climbing a staircase, inside there is a vaulted ceiling, and on the altar there is a neoclassical decoration painted soberly in white. In its main altar there is an image of the Virgin of Lourdes brought by the French High Pyrenees. Its neoclassical style, with each element that makes it up, its striking pink quarry and the height of its two towers are truly admirable. The Lourdes Chapel is located just 6 blocks from the town center of Tlaxco. The Labyrinths of Tlaxco are located just over half a mile from the town center of Tlaxco, very close to the Chapel of Lourdes. It is about piles of reddish earth created by soil erosion, forming a system of small canyons with a height that varies between 3.5 feet to 16 feet high, through which you can walk. Getting there is relatively easy. However, the entrance can be somewhat confusing since there is no official entrance as such. There is what would seem like an entrance where there's a stream. However, it is not the correct entrance. After walking about half an hour, I realized that I was on the wrong side, and the only way to get to the other side is to go down the cliff, which I do not recommend. And the other option is to return to the point where we entered and walk a few feet to the correct axis. That was exactly what I did, and with little time, we had to explore this enigmatic but fun place. The truth is that it is more suitable for adventure tourism than for a picnic. So come well prepared because there is no path to follow. It is a true labyrinth. There are many options through which you can walk, some more dangerous than others. In a nutshell, if you like adventure, this place is your place.
This is the real entrance into hostile territory, I have to mention, where it is not known for sure what awaits us. But in the name of adventure, we will do it. Oh yes, we will. With fear and caution, we will face whatever is in front of us, like a pack of dogs that ambushed us from one side. In the same way, we were surrounded by a dangerous local herd of wild cows. Not to mention the ferocious duck that with great skill we managed to evade. This and much more, only here in Tlaxco.